Good evening. It's March 31st, 2025. And it's my pleasure and honor to be speaking with the humble hero, Mr. John J. Jeckovich. How are you doing today, Mr.
Good,
Jeckovich?
very good.
You're looking well.
Thank you.
Did you have a good day?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Jeckovich, today is, once again, March 31st, 2025, Monday, and we're in the 4th week of Lent. Your mother raised you as a Catholic,
Yeah.
and your mother was a devout Roman Catholic.
Yes.
She went to church mostly every morning, 5 and 6 a.m. Mass. And Mr. Jeckovich cared for his mother from the time his father died when he was 11 to her demise at her age of 89. So that's where the book comes from, Their Mother's Sons. It's a very interesting book, and it's out there to teach people to have a simpler life and learn lessons from Mr. Jeckovich, because his mind is like a library. That book has how many pages?
849.
And I get 10 questions an hour. How much is the book and where can I buy it?
You can't buy it.
The book is not for sale now, nor ever will be. It's not about money. Mr. Jeckovich has plenty of money. It's about sharing life experiences with the generation coming up to make their life just a little bit easier, right?
Yeah.
Just to make their life a little bit easier. So it's exciting that today is the 4th week of Lent. And on March 31st, 2025, this is the sign of death. The sign of death becomes, the symbol of hope. Very interesting. The sign of death today becomes a sign of hope. Crucifixion is one of the harshest forms of execution ever devised by human beings. Never understand. You can never underestimate the greed of human beings or the harshness or the hate of human beings, right?
Right.
Never underestimate them. But in general, we all believe there's many good people, more good people than bad. The method of punishment was designed to inflict both severe pain and humiliation. It was used by several ancient civilizations. The Romans used crucifixion to punish slaves, rebels, and major criminals. The condemned were nailed or tied to a cross where they suffered, sometimes over several hours or even days, and eventually died. For Catholics, the crucifixion of Jesus Christ holds deep spiritual meaning. Means Jesus, through innocent and divine, was crucified bearing the sins of the world. Jesus' death on the cross, followed the resurrection, points to the truth that God can bring good from even the most hopeless situation. Like we said, we believe there's more good than bad. Oh yeah. The cross, once a symbol of death, has now become a symbol of hope. Look at how many people are wearing crosses. Now it's a symbol of hope. Before it used to be just death. Now the cross becomes a symbol of hope, faith, and eternal life for believers. So it's very interesting how things change. Mr. Jeckovich was from Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich lives by the motto, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. I'm going to start reading, Mr. Jeckovich. We're the second time around on your book. We're on chapter 4. These are called Passes of Owensboro. This is on page 61. When you're going with Smith and Betsy, and they brought a blind date for you.
Yeah.
Did you see Smith much during the war?
No.
Did he ever was side by side with you in the war?
No.
He went his own separate ways.
Well, no, he's in a different company, too.
What did he do?
He was in infantry, too.
But you never seen him again after Evansville?
No.
Never?
No.
I'll be damned. So, Mr. Jeckovich, in order to open up the laptop to read your book, I need your dog tag number.
42965.
Thank you. All right, let's pick it up here. This is when Mr. Jeckovich is on his first leave, going to Evansville, Indiana, with his close friend Smith, and Smith sent his wife, his fiancee, Betsy, at a hotel shortly close to camp, and he brought Betsy brought her girlfriend with her, Elaine. As I talked, Mr. Jeckovich is talking now to Elaine, as we talked, I began to realize how much I missed talking to the opposite sex. Elaine was intelligent and much more mature, I thought, than Betsy. While she talked, my eyes were drawn to her sensuous legs and her flattering ankles. She quickly brought me back to reality when she asked if I had a girl back home. She seemed relieved when I said I did not. As we drove back to the motel, it seemed unconventional to be sitting next to a woman who was driving. How did that feel, a lady driving?
I've never had that before.
How about since then?
Oh yeah, it's usual now.
But how about your life?
Well, then Delphine started to drive.
She drove you around?
Well, yeah, once in a while, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. As we drove back to the motel, unconventional to be sitting next to a woman who was driving, I never experienced that before. We reached the motel at 18:30 hours. Smith related that we were late and that they were starved. So you got to the motel where Smith and Betsy were, and you were half an hour late, and they were starved. Okay. We found a pleasant restaurant and had a delicious meal and a congenial dinner conversation. I enjoyed myself and did not feel tense or on my guard as I usually did under these types of circumstances. Smith and I split the dinner cost between the two of us. As we left the restaurant, we looked for a good movie to attend. The girls decided they wanted to see The White Cliffs of Dover.
Oh yeah.
What's The White Cliffs of Dover?
That was a good movie.
What's it about?
It's an English movie about during the war.
Was it a romantic movie?
Oh yeah.
Ah, now I see. So it wasn't more of a military movie.
It was a chick flick.
It was a chick flick.
Yeah.
Yeah, a romantic movie. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's see who was in it. And it was The White Cliffs of Dover. I wonder if that's still playing today.
Oh yeah, someplace, yeah.
With Greer Garson and Walter Pidgeon. Were those big names in?
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. As we sat in the movie, I felt strange to be sitting among all these civilians, as I was accustomed to seeing the only uniformed faces back in camp. So he felt a little uneasy because it's all civilians.
Yeah.
With the war blazing at this time, how did a combat soldier like yourself feel being in a movie? And I'm sure that many 17, 18, and 19-year-olds that never got drafted and enlisted, what did you think of those guys?
Well, they didn't want to be in the army, that's all.
Yeah, but drafted.
Well, they didn't draft them, no. They didn't draft them until 19.
I know, but 19, let's just say. But how does a combat soldier who's been through hell and back feels about guys that never made it?
Yeah. Well.
Lucky? Did you have any resentment towards them?
Who?
The combat soldiers, seeing the guys, also teenagers, that are just enjoying movies and going out with girls. And
Well, I probably did that too once in a while.
okay, all right. Because not all 19-year-olds were in the war. Some got lucky.
Yeah.
Well, your brother, he enlisted.
He went in the Coast Guard, yeah.
But your other brother, he enlisted.
No, he didn't enlist. He was in school, and then when he got out, he's teaching recruits how to drive jeeps.
What a cushy job, teaching guys how to drive jeeps in the United States. when everyone else is in the filth and the dirt of a foxhole being shot at. He got away pretty good.
Yeah.
He got away pretty good. He got away pretty good. I felt elated and excited at her touch. Shortly thereafter, I had my hand gently caressing it. I also placed my leg against hers and brushed it tenderly. She acknowledged it with a smile and gentle nudge on my arm. Needless to say, I did not pay much attention to the movie, and I was too engrossed in the drama which was unfolding before me. Let me ask you, you were also an usher as a boy, right?
What?
You went to many movies because you were an usher as a boy.
Yeah.
What kind of uniform did you wear as an usher?
Black pants with a gold stripe down the middle, white shirt and a bow tie.
And there was 2 movie theaters in the 40s.
Standing the Cataract and the Hippodrome.
And the Greeks owned both of them, or 3 of them?
Yeah.
And when you worked as an usher, what did you primarily do?
Go down the aisle, look for empty seats for people, especially on the weekend when it was crowded.
And then you
The
would
flash my light for two flashes, there would be 2 empty seats.
And what was the big trouble you used to have on Saturdays?
Well, the kids were there Saturday morning for movies and that, and they get all excited and start pissing on the floor.
That was to a horror movie?
Yeah.
Was that a regular thing?
Oh yeah, it was Frankenstein or some stupid thing.
And what did the boss tell you?
I'll go down and clean that up. It smells like hell.
What'd you bring, like a big bucket or a hose or something?
No, I brought a pail of hot water and soap and washed it up.
Those kids must look pretty stupid walking home with wet pants. Right?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
young
goodness.
kids, young
I
kids.
wonder if kids today could get that scared of something because they're so used to being on their phone watching violence every minute.
Yeah.
I wonder if it would even scare them today.
No, they weren't protected like they were before, no.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I believe you're right. After the movie, we decided to go to the local USO where they're featuring Frank Sinatra and Tommy Dorsey. Did you ever have any of these stars play for you?
No, never.
They always said Bob Hope was there. Where was he playing?
Back behind the lines.
Oh, to the rear echelon.
Yeah.
Ah, to the rear echelon.
They wouldn't come up.
They wouldn't come up. It's funny about the rear echelon. They had important duties. What did the rear echelon do?
They supported us.
Typing, supplies.
Yeah.
So let me just say something so you people would understand. Mr. Jeckovich, we referred to him as a humble hero. He was in the dirt. He was in the real war. He was in the real war. Death at every corner. But no one knew he was in combat. No one knew he was in World War II and just a few years ago. All these fantastic stories you heard up to now came from the rear echelon.
Yeah.
Real combat vets don't talk. Rear echelon do, because they never experienced pain or misery. So keep that in mind. When you hear somebody bragging about the war and a fantastic story, they weren't combat. Combat guys don't talk. They're an elite group and they keep to themselves. Elite group and they keep to themselves. When Mr. Jeckovich went to Europe at 19, his division was affectionately referred to as the Diaper Division. I say affectionately because that's what it was. And the reason why they called it the Diaper Division was how come?
And they were 19 years old.
Young kids, no experience. But
33s, there were 33s.
33 is a military code for teenagers. But as the war raged on, the Diaper Division proved themselves. They held Bastogne, 97% casualties, death at every turn. But they had to hold Bastogne, otherwise the Nazis during the Battle of Bulge would have a great advantage. So the story goes from Diaper Division is when they left the Battle of Bulge with unbelievable casualties. Now they had another nickname. They were nicknamed the Bloody Bastards of Bastogne. See how things change. Now these are well-seasoned fighters, high casualties. Mr. Jeckovich during the war Was you shot up in the shoulder by a sniper, beat up, stabbed,
Lost a hip.
lost a hip, trench foot, frostbite? You still suffer from
Oh,
frostbite?
frostbite's killing me today, last night, boy.
Doesn't go away. 80 years. Also, Mr. Jeckovich was bombed by what was referred to as a dirty bomb. A dirty bomb is this. The Nazis would put razor blades in the bomb, old tools, old wrenches, old screws, anything metal that when it blows up it does the maximum damage. To this date, Mr. Jeckovich still has shrapnel from that dirty bomb in his body. What would happen when you go through the airport metal detector?
Well, I got a slip that says when that thing goes off, I just give them a slip.
But it's more than shrapnel Mr. Jeckovich's leg. His buddy in the foxhole, Donald Labe, got hit by the same dirty bomb. Blew his head off, and the only thing left hanging was his glasses on one ear. Mr. Jeckovich removed his glasses, closed his eyes, took one dog tag, and mailed him home to his mother and father with a beautiful letter. So war is extremely brutal. Mr. Jeckovich later, with thousands of other GIs, broke the gates open at the concentration camps and Holocaust camps. When you're releasing these prisoners, what were you told not to do?
Don't feed them.
And why was that?
Because they had bad food diets. They were not eating right.
They were treated basically worse than dogs. The things we can't even talk here about. It was the most inhumane treatment in the world. It was totally most inhumane treatment in the world.
13 minutes.
For fun, the Nazis and SS would beat them up, cut them up, torture them, make experiments on them. The Nazis were obsessed with twins. There was 400 twins they had in the death camps, and they did horrible experiments on all of them.
Oh, yeah. Crazy fools.
Crazy bastards. Sometimes, many times, they take the twins and try to sew them together. What sick son of a bitches. So out of the 400 twins that entered the death camps, only 10 or 12 left. The conditions living were unbearable. You would work all day with barely any clothes to keep you warm, certainly no shoes. The Nazis wouldn't allow that. And do all types of physical work around the clock. Basically where you dropped in the filth was your bed. That was it. And if you couldn't do it anymore, and you basically gave up, you sat down, you knew what came. What came next was a bullet to the head. It was just that simple. A bullet to the head if you sat down. So Mr. Jeckovich seen many things that released these death camps. And the offices that the Nazis and the secretaries worked at were 20 feet from the yards of these death camps. And all these ladies that worked at death camps were all fat. So they're nicknamed fat fucks. Fat fucks. They're eating like pigs, and all the prisoners barely...
Yeah. They ate those rations and everything.
They would share a rat. If they were lucky, they'd share a rat. So Mr. Jeckovich and the other GIs took the fat fucks out and showed them what was going on. It's amazing, all the townspeople and the fat fucks denied they knew anything about it.
No, we didn't know anything about
They
it.
knew nothing about it. So they made the fat fucks help removing the GIs, which barely could walk, you're down to 60 or 70 pounds, and also carry out the dead into a big pile. But the townspeople and the ladies working in the office all denied that this was going on.
Yeah. We didn't know what was going on, no. Yeah.
Unbelievable, but we still believe there's many good people in this world. We really do. But we always can never forget this Holocaust, never forget the concentration camps. It was the worst thing in the world. Not many of them left. For example, World War II actual combat veterans left. We have less than 5,000. We're losing them at a rate of 150 a day. So if you have any questions for this man, his mind is like a library. Text us at 407-366-0000. 407-366-0000. Mr. Jeckovich will answer all and every questions. He'll even call you if you want him to call you and talk about it. It's just that simple, trying to show youngsters a better life. Mr. Jeckovich was born in 1925, and here we are in 2025. He's knocking on the door of 100. Hear those knocks? Hear those knocks, Mr. Jeckovich?
Yeah, that's for eternity, yeah.
What's that?
Eternity.
The pearly fucking gates. There you go. Mr. Jeckovich is in perfect health, reads 3 newspapers, including the Wall Street Journal every morning, without glasses, powerful arms and hands. He can shake your hand and knock you to the ground. Never took a prescription, never took a vitamin, never drank, and never smoked. So there you go. Yeah, oh yeah, by the way, he jogged for 80 years, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
8.
Knocking on the door of 100. Mr. Jeckovich said a few months ago, he was 20 years old, he basically blinked his eyes, and now you're 100.
Yeah.
It went by that fast, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So guys listening and gals listening, it's a short dance around the sun. It truly is a short dance around the sun. So I say to you, enjoy each and every day. It goes by quick.
Yeah,
Right, Mr. Jeckovich?
yeah.
It goes by quick. But we still believe, we're speaking about all these horrible people, that there's more good people than bad. There is a beautiful story that explains good people, even on the opposite side. Tell us how that teenage Nazi soldier had a drop on you. Tell us what happened.
Oh, the young kid?
Yeah, the drop. He was a Nazi soldier.
Yeah, he came up one side, I was going back the other way. He stopped it. He had the door, but he had my gun down. He looked at me, smiled, turned around, and went back.
Yeah, there you go. There's good people in this world. Another teenage fighter on the opposite side.
SS,
Yeah. If it was an SS, what would the SS do?
it shoots you in the head right away.
The SS would have no mercy. They'd blow your head off. But here was a young soldier, young German soldier, 19 years old, maybe younger, because towards the end of the war, Hitler was sticking him in at 13. He gave Mr. John J. Jeckovich a great smile, even though he had a drop on him, and he turned around, and a German soldier walked with his back toward Mr. Jeckovich. That German soldier and Mr. Jeckovich had a quick understanding, and that German soldier walked with his back to him, knowing there was no way in hell that Mr. Jeckovich was going to pop a bullet in him. Right?
Yeah.
He left confidently. So there's good examples right there. There's good examples right there. And we learned so many things from World War II we still use today. The list is very, very long. Okay. After the movie, we decided, minutes please? After the movie, we decided to go to the local USO where they're featuring Frank Sinatra and Tommy Dorsey. When you went to the USO, did Betsy and Smith drink liquor?
Smith had a beer.
How about Elaine?
No, she didn't drink,
How
no.
about you? Did you drink?
No.
Was the USO filled with smoke?
Well, it was a big place. They had ventilating fans and that.
Yeah, the interesting thing about cigarettes during World War II, the Red Cross passed out cigarettes like candy bars.
Yeah.
They
Unfiltered,
passed out cigarettes
unfiltered.
like candy bars. Non-filtered. What kind were some of the brands?
Pall Mall, Lucky Strike.
And then when the war was finally you sent to different camps. The camps you went to were all named after what?
After the cigarettes.
Cigarettes. So they played a big role in these young soldiers. They influenced these young soldiers. So if a teenage soldier made it and survived World War II, good chances, very good chances, 20 or 30 years later, he died of the habit he picked up, given by the Red Cross, of lung cancer by smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
20 or 30 years after the war was over, what did the devious tobacco companies do now?
Put a pack of cigarettes in front of the door, cash register.
Yeah.
And expect the kid to steal it.
Yeah. That's what Mr. Jeckovich is saying. 20 or 30 years after World War II, the devious tobacco companies would set up displays at 15 or 20,000 7-Elevens and any convenience store, a nice display, a cardboard display, right in front of the cash registers. And all those packs of cigarettes were set up there, so it makes it easy for a young kid to steal. The philosophy of the tobacco company was, a pack of cigarettes stolen today is a carton sold tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You seen how many text messages came in?
Okay.
198 in 2 days, but I'll just pick randomly through any of them. If you feel up to answering.
All right, let's go.
How much time do we got at the studio? Anyone know?
Oh, time.
How much time do we have at the studio?
Hang on. 3.5.
Mr. Jeckovich, where were you born and raised?
Niagara Falls, New York.
And you lived there all your life?
Yeah.
You lived there all your life. It was a beautiful town there.
It was a nice town,
Beautiful mansions.
Yeah.
Beautiful business.
Yeah.
It seemed like everyone from Poland, Italy, Russia, and Greece came to Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, I imagine, back then.
Oh, yeah.
How do you think it is now?
Well, we see that pictures. They look, it's run down. Terrible. It's dump.
Would you ever think of going back?
Oh, no.
Isn't it funny how it changed? Why do you think it became such a ghetto?
Well, the people who lived there, they were initial inhabitants. When they left or they passed away, these people come in, they just stay a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and leave.
Yeah.
They're transits.
Yeah. Many of the houses in the downtown section are destroyed, boarded up, or abandoned. Most of the businesses are gone. And there's a large population that's left in the city. It's not a city anymore, by the way, it's a town. It used to be 50 to 100,000 when Mr. Jeckovich was a boy. Now I think it's 15 or 20,000. So it's got it's being called now a town or a village. But many of the people living there now are from Pakistan.
Yeah.
Pakistan. So I imagine, even though it's run down and depressed,
Yeah.
I guess if you came from the ghetto of Pakistan, this might look pretty nice.
Oh, yeah. That's why I was there. That's why I was there, yeah.
Totally. But then on the other side, come on, tell us about the other side. You go across the bridge in 1 mile, you have Niagara Falls, Canada, and what's that like?
It's a different world.
Tell us.
Different world. It's clean. People are living normally.
Yeah. You cross over that bridge by 1 mile, and you're in Niagara Falls, Ontario. It's like you're in Disneyland.
That's just two different mismanaged, or just our side was mismanaged for all those years.
Canadian side's like Disneyland. Thriving businesses.
Yeah.
5-star hotels.
Yeah.
Teeming with tourists.
Yeah.
And they all share the same falls. They both have the same attraction.
Yeah.
And Niagara Falls is just run into the ground.
Yeah. Well, Moffat took it over.
Yeah, they just screwed it up. They screwed it up. Tell us about when you ran your laundromat and you go there and pick up your money at 2 o'clock in the morning. Tell me what noises you heard.
The roar of the falls.
Yeah. How close were you to the falls?
About 2 miles.
Yeah. What was the exact address of that laundromat? Or what was the streets at laundromat?
2nd and Niagara Street.
Was that near the Niagara Falls Gazette?
Yeah.
2nd, and what's there now?
36.
Well, they tore that down. That's all tore down.
And what went there?
There was a big train station there. I used to make phone calls in the depot there.
What do you think's there now?
It was a big parking lot now.
And that's what they did.
They made a parking lot out of it.
That's stupid. All those beautiful businesses there,
Yeah.
they bulldozed them down. Wow.
5 seconds.
Wow.
We'll pick it up tomorrow.